2 years ago today, I was diagnosed with cancer. Everyone was convinced that I was in shock, but the scenes from that day still play vividly in my mind. As a waiting room closed in on me, I watched my mom fiddle with her purse. She tried to be calm on the surface, but her anxious hands said everything. She has this uncanny way of knowing things. She feels them in her gut, and she's always dead on about them. In the weeks leading up to D-Day, she was never able to tell me that she was certain it wasn't cancer, but she always told me that she was certain that no matter what, I'd be okay. The doctor came out to get us, and as we walked into the room, I heard him say behind me under his breath, "This is going to be hard." We went there just hoping that the giant mass that had grown between my heart and lungs was anything but cancer, but those 6 words stripped the hope right from our souls as we somberly took our places in the room. The first biopsy showed the presence of Hodgkin's lymphoma cells, but not enough to be certain, he said. But my doctor knew better, and so did I. With every word after that, my reality began to unfold. "You should know this doesn't have to be a death sentence," he said. Of this, we were also both certain. As the carefully chosen words crept out of his mouth, I tried not to look in my mom's direction because I knew that seeing her would break me. But there she was, sobbing as stoically as she could. All I wanted to do was tell her that I was so sorry that this was happening to her. I looked away and stared back at the doctor, trying to focus as the room spun around me, always trying to grasp for the silver lining. I tried to calm myself down, thinking, better me than my kids, better me than my kids. But then I realized this was happening to her kid. My mom was about to go through my worst nightmare. I always felt like it was my job to make her life easier, and I hated the idea that I couldn't shield her from the shrapnel that comes with caring for a child with cancer. Within an hour of leaving the doctor, friends and family quickly filled my home. In between the nervous laughing and crying and clinging on to my babies, there'd be these jolting WTF pauses of awkward silence as we wrestled between the reality and hoping it was all a bad dream. "You're in shock," my mom said. As I paced around the house, making doctor's appointments, organizing binders of tests and scans, and playing over and over again in my head how many times I'd been misdiagnosed for 6 years through 2 pregnancies, until a tumor as big as a softball wedged itself in my chest and finally forced doctors to listen to me. I put on my big girl pants that day, and I'm not sure I even remember how to take them off now. I plowed through surgeries and tests and scans and lost my hair and lost my mind and saw a glimpse of what hell must be like, and radiation and chemo and running a business, but I never really stopped to deal with it. And while she had a front row seat to the worst days of my life, my mom will tell you that she really hasn't dealt with it either. We approached it in the same way, almost with blinders on, just focused straight ahead on making it through. We cried, we laughed, we prayed, we pleaded, but we didn't accept it. We still haven't. Every time I couldn't take it anymore, every time I couldn't hold my babies because I was too sick or too radioactive, every time I see those sad little Yoda hairs on my bald head, or my body shut down just at the sight of City of Hope, my mom was always there to tell me, "This too shall pass." Today, as I celebrate, living 2 years since the day I found out something was trying to take my life, I ring in this milestone, knowing that faith can get you through anything. Life truly is too short, and the time I have on this earth is too valuable to waste on worry. My baby's sweet laugh makes everything better. My kindergartner is one of the most thoughtful and compassionate people I've ever known in my lifetime. I've learned that it's okay to be weak, that everything happens for a reason, and if you're open to learn from it, you can gain so much, even from your worst fears. Most importantly, I've learned that no matter what life throws out at me, I can always lean on the sound of my mom's voice, now forever engraved in my soul, telling me, "This too shall pass." Thank you.